friendly.
What are you doing?
Hey, man.
Get out of my show.
Do I have to move spots?
Oh, yeah, this is awesome. It's Monday night. I'm here with Todd and unfortunately Ryan.
Hey, guys.
We do another exciting show. This crazy man's invaded my house.
It's literally like seeing two Brinleys, except one's got a much better like ball of fluff going on the chin.
It's pretty good.
This is what Brindley's going to look like in about 8 years.
Ryan is just infinitely jealous of anyone who can grow facial hair.
Ah,
the little baby face.
Yeah, but I grow facial hair, but all my chin's hide. Right?
Some people don't like a rough ride. Oh man, Ryan, what have you done? What have you been doing for a hobby? What have you been doing for a hobby?
So I've been doing a lot of that. Which also will tie into our news. I had a game.
Or what?
Yeah. I got it out of a Happy Meal. So I've been testing out the new Legions of Nagash book. It's like if Legions of Nagash was a Tinder date, I would have been texting my mates between meals.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Ooh. Yeah.
So we'll see. Mind you, I did play against Jamie with it and his dirty 2-up save, re-rolling failed saves and hits and all that sort of thing, shenanigan space geckos, and lost by 1 point. So it was a really close game. And considering I've never played with it before, yeah, it's pretty good. So there was that, and then there's these. So those are for 25 mils. That's a 40 lot. These are for 30 lots of handgunners, and then I've got 20 lots for guard or whatever. And that's from this place called Back to Basics. And I think they're in Adelaide. Yeah, I think they're in Adelaide. And what I liked about them is, one, they give it to you so that you can make it however you like, which is what I'm doing now, by the way, tonight as we go. I will be crafting them. But also, they give you all the bits in the middle. So as you take casualties, you can fill up the bits again. And I'm going to put like I don't know. I'm gonna put tombstones or something.
Something's going
maybe
there.
Like tombstones or like trees or flowers or something.
Yeah, probably all of the above.
Maybe like blocks of trees.
Actually, there's one in here. Yeah, so this one here is for your mum. So.
Yeah, that's good. She'll appreciate that.
But yeah, that's me, man.
So you've done a bit of hobby, but really you just bought stuff for hobby.
Yes, all of the things. So, Nagash, Harbingers. No, wait, sorry, Nagash. Morghast, Skeletons, Graveguard, Black Knights, Movement Trays, Legions of Nagash.
Yeah, so just
I have a problem. Yeah.
So you just went into the Games Workshop and just cleared out their deli section.
Yeah, I'm like, excuse me. Can I have all of the things?
All of this. This shelf of cheese. I would like it now.
Yes. Excuse me. Do you just have camembert or can I get brie?
Can I have all of it?
Yeah.
And then I want the fancy movement trays to put it on.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. But, you know, I've been wanting to for ages, so that's that. Oh, I have a question.
It's a hobby for everyone, truly. A hobby.
Oh, we got a hand up. Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Sorry. So, my question
doesn't happen
is, what have you been doing for hobby?
For me, hobby, I've had a really interesting week this week. I've had to actually just pack my hobby space up.
Oh,
it's been a bit rough with the last batch of storms. I'm building a house at the moment, so I'm doing what all successful adults do.
That's cool, man. What color scheme are you going with?
Really good. How are you basing this?
With
my cheers.
I've been trying to paint the same model for about 6 months, man.
What's the to hit roll on your mortgage there?
Yeah, counting higher as the days go by.
Yeah.
I'm running Iron Warriors. So Feeling
No one's perfect. So, do you play good games like AoS or just 40k?
Just 40k. I'm that guy who walks into GW every few weeks and tells everybody there that I'm going to pick up AoS one day because it looks like a really fun game. And then I don't.
You're a terrible human being. Yeah, I've met heaps of those people.
Yeah.
What about you,
was going
Brinley?
to be my middle name.
What's it?
Brinley's building himself a hobbit chair so he can.
I'm just trying to like put some books on this chair so I can actually just sit on it and not be so tiny. So.
Are you serious right now?
He's building a seat of knowledge.
He's building a fort.
Literally sitting on a.
That's probably the most action any of his books have ever seen.
Really, I have a lovely collection of White Dwarf and other things.
So, I'm sorry, did you just refer to White Dwarf as a book?
Yes. Well, I mean, let's go with from about 230 to about 300. That was an actual magazine, and then something terrible happened about midway, and then now they're kind of starting to get it back. And I'm actually
I like the new ones.
I like the new one, the current edition of White Dwarf that's out.
Are you referring to like the skinny little white ones that came out?
Yeah, I don't know what that was. And then they brought that out every week, and then they also brought out what was it? Warhammer Visions.
I don't think anybody speaks about that.
And that was pretty horrific. I wasn't a huge fan of that.
That was just pictures of models, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, for those of you who have just tuned in, thank you for firstly watching our fantastic show and listening to us drivel on about hobby as per usual. But this is AUSHAMMER. This is what we do. For those of you who don't know this amazing person sitting next to me, this is Todd, a local school teacher who does quite amazing things with his stuff.
Todd, are you single?
This is myself.
No, mate.
No, he's got his unfortunate.
There you go, ladies. Ladies, he's taken.
But yeah,
it's
absolutely
taken.
Like I said, man, I'm building a house. I'm open to things.
Man's got a plastic crack addiction somehow.
He's very, very, he's open to all sorts of things. You want your homework marked or something, just slip in a 20 for any of his students who are watching. You'll probably just pay him off. You want to get out of that detention,
So we have to be careful not to swear tonight as well. I got the memo.
So, like, for those of you in chat, go nuts. But
no,
tonight's show, we're going to attempt to
be on your best behaviour, and we will be monitoring the chat tonight because we've got stuff to give away as well. So
yeah, we do. Yeah, we are giving stuff away. A random person will be picked out of the people in chat.
It's quick.
So fight to the death and all that. Should be good.
Actually, I've got some extra stuff to give away too here.
Oh yeah, we've got some extra stuff as per usual.
Yes.
So I've got some brush sets, which are really hard to see because of the plastic. Now, I tested these out first on Brinley, and he seems to like them. So I don't know much about painting. He's the paint monkey. But I do have a few sets just hanging around. So, and I do believe we've got some GW goodies, but they're at your house, Brinley.
Yeah, so for GW goodies, we have a box of... get off my book chair.
I love how organised you are.
The showgirl stuff.
I'm sorry, where's Guess That Booty?
Oh, we've got some Liberators and... What's that?
Poxwalkers.
Oh, snap.
So fancy, but this is what you can win. So we have prizes now. We're one of those cool channels that have things, unlike Frontline Gaming, who only do small things like Las Vegas Open and Adepticon, so fuck them.
You just swore.
That's one. That's one.
We should have a little counter on this side.
You know what? That's it. Mr. Hef, I demand that you move his name down on the board to the brown colour. He is no longer in green.
So we run with a 3-strike policy. So I'll give him a 1.
Sorry, my bad.
You have to sit with the special children now.
Yeah, no. One is your first warning. So you need to think about your actions.
Think about your actions.
All right. 2, I need your mum's phone number.
So,
like, what's the graveyard? It's a bit dark.
I went south real quick. So back to Malign Portals.
Back to.
I have something else as well for hobby.
Back to the 9th age. Speaking of dead things.
Ouch! I've been playing World of Warcraft.
You're playing World of Warcraft?
Yeah.
Oh, for those of you who don't want to pay for World of Warcraft, RuneScape has just had a graphics update.
Is it an 8-bit?
It is now coded in 4-bit.
You're such a
all get back time to be our 13-year-old selves. That'd be great.
Okay. There. I think I've just finished one of my bases.
Can everyone hear us all right?
Yeah, you're fine. Shut up.
We've got poor mic quality coming on. I think we're coming through.
So, Brindley, have you been painting at all, or what?
Yeah, I've been. I've got. Man, I would have had some pictures up, but like, if anyone really cares, you can go to my Instagram. Just been mucking around with my Primaris, the Primaris machines I'm doing for commission, and slowly, like, just trying to work out the actual physical ins and outs of how I'm going to do my custom Imperial Guard Legion Acid Dogs, which is really, really cool because I haven't actually seen anything about it. So obviously trying to work through the color scheme and how I'm going to put them together is going to be a fairly time-intensive process.
But it's like the worst AOS stuff I've ever heard of.
Yeah, I know. It's so upsetting. So upsetting. If only
when you do guard, you can't do them half-assed.
Yeah, you
got to go all the way.
You've got to spend like $50 per miniature to convert them.
Oh,
yeah.
That's disgusting.
My approach was always to buy like 8 different starter kits and then start chopping stuff up and just like melting them in a pot together.
You can get the Gene Stealer. So at the moment, I've currently got a pile of catachans. I actually bought a box of catachans. It's a one. Just bought a pile of catachans by themselves.
Worth it.
Then, just like brand new non-sprue catachans.
Yeah.
Like
well,
when you.
This is just an idea. You could both be real men and play AOS.
I've got a Chaos Army. I'm pretty happy with that.
I actually have like a butt ton of Skaven buried in a box somewhere.
Does that mean, Todd, that we will see you this Sunday at Irresistible Force for a AOS-a-thon?
AOS-a-thon.
Is that what I'm hearing? Wow, this just got really awkward really quickly. Either that or they're playing statues. I don't know.
Are we playing statues?
Oh, there we go. Jeez, talk about terrible cameras.
Hey, we are got nothing but the highest quality.
It says full HD on here.
Full HD. If only the
computer. So apparently, according to everybody here, your video is terrible. What is your Instagram name, by the way, Brindley?
It's Paint Monkey Incorporated, so Paint Monkey Inc. And so.
That is so typical of you. Yeah, I like that. I do like that.
Yeah, if you guys want to check it out, definitely come in. And
shout out to the Vault Gaming. Real Men Don't 40k. I like it.
Real Men Don't 40k.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so that's hobby. There's been a little bit there. What about news, man? What's happening in the world of 40k?
Oh man, all right. So basically, the biggest news that's coming through is actually Necromunda. So House Orlok has released some new miniatures. You can get your 10 for 70, I think it is. And then Forge World has actually taken over production of individual miniatures for Necromunda. So we've seen a lot of individual resin characters come out. We've had that crazy Donna from Escher. And then they're bringing out Bounty Hunters range.
Are they bringing out like a stunty dude, a dwarf-looking 40k?
Actually got a squat coming. So whether or not
like Cal Jericho, maybe.
Yeah.
You just say it's Khal Drogo.
No,
wrong game.
That's a 2.
That's a 2.
That's 2. That's swearing, man.
That's 2.
It's just as
I
bad.
didn't swear.
No, but you said a bad word.
What did I say?
Khal Drogo, man.
No, that's one.
Khal Drogo. He's like the best. I don't know. Swearing is if you say his name and then Aquaman.
All saying bad words.
Bad words. Terrible.
Grey Knight's cheese.
Grey Knights are amazing. Even I know that.
If anybody wants to buy 30 Grey Knight Terminators.
Yeah, see this guy. Are they metal?
No, man.
Oh, they're just plastic.
Yeah, they're all plastic.
Okay.
Mine were metal, weren't they?
They're cool. They're just plastic. Yeah, that's disgusting.
And they're all Terminators too.
I saw
Terminators. yeah, so yeah, if anyone wants to check out my Instagram, go there. It's all basically all the updates of my Primaris, and there's a good picture of my thumb after I stabbed it with a Stanley knife. You know,
Is there any pictures of a finished Hurricanum by any chance?
No, but there's this pile of melted plastic in my microwave. So
I will tell on you to Mr. Heff. I will tell on you to Mr. Heff. I'm just saying.
Mr. Heff told me to do it. He's like, you should probably do this as a science project.
Healthy competition is kind of like a good thing between students.
And I'm just like, all right, we can do this. What do you reckon? 2 minutes on high? He's like, yeah, let's go.
I'm sorry, but where I'm from, we follow the high five procedure for bullying. And right now, stop. I don't like it.
When's walk away?
Walk away. That's number
3. You did
yeah.
that really well.
Commendably. Were you bullied a lot as a child?
I was not bullied.
Not an instigator at all. You didn't do much. Yeah, look.
Put it this way: I've become one of the very people I used to steal lunch money from.
Oh, there you go. That's
so. But I'm okay with that.
You're okay now.
And a shout out to all those people, by the way. Thank you. You kept me fed.
Get me there. There was
funded your hobby.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I mean, like, so for 40k, there hasn't been too much. Obviously, there's been a lot of drops about basically the custodies and how they're just absolutely butt raping people.
Oh, they're amazing, aren't
they? That's two. You heard that, F.
That is two.
It is two.
I mean, they are custodes, though. Like, there's no other way to describe them successfly.
Well, you're gonna have to learn. All right. This is a family-friendly show tonight, and I don't appreciate your language.
There's levels of cheese, and then there's just like curd on top.
This is pretty disgusting. So for those of you who don't understand exactly what the custodies' bikes are bringing to the table, they are hitting on 2s. They are wounding on 2s nearly 90% of the time. They are toughness 6. They have 4 wounds. They have a 2-up save, and then they have a 4-up invo save, which can be very, very easily turned into a 3-up invo save.
So they're almost as good as Eldar.
Yeah, nearly. They're basically Dark Reapers on jet bikes. So yeah, which are equally disgusting.
I'm still scarred.
When it's going to come to Adepticon, which is going to be held very, very soon, and there's going to be a lot of lists that are going to be coming out. And I really, really think this is when they're going to be deciding whether or not Games Workshop is going to nerf the Eldari Reapers, or if they're going to be nerfing Custodes. But if they've just got they've got these Reaper lists that are just being countered by Custodes lists, then depending on what the FAQ would be determined by how well the community can counter all of these units. But saying that, 10 dudes on bikes is like 1,200 points. So that's a fairly large chunk.
If I'm really honest, it sounds like a really bad video on RedTube.
Yeah, it's gonna the Custodes.
10 guys on bikes.
10 guys on bikes.
I've seen that. These bikers are lovely people.
I don't want to know what you've seen, buddy. That's one. If there was ever a computer I did want to see the browsing history of, it was yours.
It's pretty horrific. We found some terrible things just trying to find my first army.
Actually, I got an insight into the backstory of Brinley there.
Backstory of me.
The
real backstory. Actually, if we'll actually show people, can you pull them up? I might actually be able to. Hold on, we'll try and find it. There we go. I get it here.
What are we talking about?
All right, we're going to share screen.
Okay, I will. Show people. There we go. It's stuck on you, buddy. It's stuck on you.
Is it locked on me? Wait, no, that's just locked on me. I'm going to share screen it now.
Yeah, so share screen. You can do this.
You're
a strong, independent woman.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so this was my first Imperial Guard army that I did somewhere between when I was like 18 or something. And so as you can see, so this is like the old school metal models.
Was this your very first army?
Yeah, this was my very first army that I completed. I think somewhere between 16 and about 20, I eventually built up. Like, obviously going through those years, you go through a fair amount of like different changes as a young person.
I can see you really committed yourself, man. You did well.
You definitely went through there. Like, I had Valkyries with like cool stuff. All the dust that's on is actually just dust because they just sat on a shelf collecting it. First Guard. So like this is like where I came from with a lot of my miniatures. This was my first attempt at bulk painting a huge amount of armies. As you can see, the quality isn't fantastic, but it was tabletop for the time, and so I was actually really happy to find these photos.
Sure,
I sold this army, and I sold this army way back in holy crap, like 2013.
That's three.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh no! Oh, I've got to mute myself.
What's 3?
I don't know.
I can't remember. Oh, I've got to give you a principal's offense slip.
Sweet.
I don't ever get to do that.
I'm gonna frame it.
Usually 2 is enough to scare them.
2 is enough. We're just maniacs out here. You're gonna be handing out these. What if I do it? What happens if I get to 4?
This is what happens when I come to the north side. You guys are wild.
We're out of control. But yeah, this is my my first army. So that was pretty exciting, and I was glad to find the pictures of it.
Hang on, wait.
Oh, a sticker. Oh, there we go. I told you, just giving me a sticker.
That's for effort, man.
That's for effort.
For a first army, that's pretty good.
For a first army, that was pretty good. All right, so how do I get out of sharing screen now?
Stop sharing.
There you go. Stop sharing. We're so professional here. Oh no, where's he gone? Is it? Oh, there he is. Oh, he's so angry. Look at you, angry man.
Yeah.
But
Now there's an echo coming from your computer.
That was pretty good. Oh no, we'll just have to deal with it, I guess. Can anyone chat here? Or is it just Ryan?
No, it's you.
It's us.
Just you. No? Oh well.
What do we say?
Anyway.
It's us.
It's us.
Ducks quacks don't echo.
Don't they?
No.
What if you shoot
Really?
the duck?
The shot would echo,
All right.
but not the quack.
All right.
Is
I
that-
feel like we should test this in like a museum or something.
Really, a duck's quack doesn't echo.
I actually have no idea, but I read it somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like the Blues will probably never win Origin.
Again?
Just.
This is new. Did I step into something?
This is.
A little bit.
Things-
So,
List 101.
is that all of your 40k news?
I don't think I've really missed anything. It's been pretty slow.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
I can't think of anything.
So I've already shown you the book. I'm not going to bring it up again because I'm lazy and I'm holding something that needs to dry very quickly. But obviously the Malign Portents book has come out. With it, a lot of the GW stores here have started like a Malign Portents. What's the word I'm thinking of, Brinley?
Campaign tournament.
Yeah, that's it. So, however, we noted that in order to be eligible for this free event campaign,
Just to be clear that this is through a local hobby store.
Stores
Stores that'll remain nameless.
Yes, that's right. There's we don't want to. Yeah.
Certainly got a little bit of an issue.
And I mean, it's up to people to formulate their own opinions on it.
not
However,
gonna
what I did notice was they saying that it's free. However, to be able to play at these ones, you need to A, have bought the Malign Portents book, B, bought Morghasts, which aren't cheap models, and also to be eligible to play, you have to play with GW dice and GW tape. So that's like for anybody who doesn't play regularly at a GW store, but obviously buys GW models and all that sort of thing. If you don't have all 4 of those things and you wanted to compete in this event tournament campaign, that's like $122 entry fee. I want to be positive about it. I really do. And I'm really struggling to find a way of not swearing about it. But I just think that's a bit rough.
I mean, okay, so obviously this store and what they're doing, they're perfectly within their rights.
Oh yeah, 100% yes. And I do actually have some information here that I can probably talk about as well without going into anything. I mean, it's not just the one store, so there's that for starters. Okay, but basically we got it's the Dark Omen event, we'll use extra rules from the Malign Portents book, which sets out some exciting optional rules for the 6-week worldwide campaign. Right, so this is a worldwide campaign which kicks off on the 17th of February. So I guess that's another bit of news as well. So without the book, you will not be able to play the required scenario or have access to the special rules within, unless you've got a friend who's got the book and they're like, here's a photo of the rules and stuff that you're going to need, or here's a photocopy. Just putting it out there.
Obviously, we're a creative bunch. There are ways.
There are, yeah. The campaign hinges on the new portents, which are focused by the 4 new harbingers, which also become available today. Sorry, so harbingers, not Morghast, my bad. There is one for each of the 4 allegiances. They have nothing to do with the Morghast models. You can see more about the models in the Games Workshop web store. And then just like any business, they've said, we ask that if you are here representing the hobby, which as far as I was aware, we all are, and by association, the store, so these stores, which you will be, well, they believe that you will be, as they set up tables inside or outside their stores, then they expect that you use all of their products, hence the requirement for GW dice and tape measures. And then they go on to say about how also, why wouldn't you do that? Because the event is free. However,
which really it isn't.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, obviously there's no entry fee, but the entry fee is the fact that there's people out there that are going to have to go and buy that stuff if they want to enter it. And just for an example, right, Mr. Heff, you've got a teenage student who's into the hobby and they really want to play it, but obviously, you know, the school fees are 10 grand a year as it is, and the parents are like, no, we can't afford to cover your hobby anymore. Go to Bunnings. Yeah, well, it's a private school. Go to Bunnings and buy a tape measure for $2, and go to wish.com, which is a great site, by the way, if anybody needs hobby supplies, or a cheap shop like Price Cutters, whatever they're called, and buy a set of $5 dice, and you're away. Yeah, cool. I don't own a single thing of GW dice myself. Like, there's no point. I don't even personal preference. I'm not a big fan. So those people, those kids now can't go and participate in a hobby community, because they're going to get told, sorry, you have to leave. You're not rolling the right dice. And I'm pretty sure that regardless of the store and everything, people that aren't there participating in this event aren't going to be like, oh, hi, excuse me. I was just walking past doing some shopping with my wife. And I thought I'd just come in and check and make sure. Is everybody here rolling GW dice?
That's a really good
I know nothing about the hobby, but I really want to make sure that everyone's measuring inches with GW tape, because GW tape are the only tapes in the entire world that measure inches correctly. So for me personally, I would encourage anybody to participate in the global tournament. I do know that there are stores around that are hobby stores that will be doing this worldwide event tournament campaign without the requirements for GW dice, GW tape. If you're going to measure with one of those little measuring thingies, you're going to have that GW as well.
Yeah, so buying books or having fully painted armies. Like I'm all for everyone doing this thing, and I'm all for like worldwide events. One of the big things that got me into like really into 40k was the Eye of Terror campaign that came out way in like 2000.
Yeah, and did you have to buy dice and a tape for that?
No, I didn't.
But did you have to buy models that are 30% more expensive in this country than any other country other than New Zealand to be able to play it?
Oh no, I still had to buy the models.
Yeah, so there you go. So you've bought into the hobby. You pay for your miniatures. You've paid for the paint to paint them and everything like that. You pay your entrance fee, which is usually a minimal amount, and that's fine. And away you go. But when you went in to do that, you never got asked, to leave or purchase dice and a tape there on the spot.
Admittedly, when I was doing that, like the dice I did buy and the tape measure I did buy was Games Workshop. Because
you're a sucker.
Because I didn't understand the concept of the thing, and that was when they had like those little cubes, those like cubes of like 36 dice, and they were good to go. I bought shitloads of them.
So the question was, David Maidman has asked, I wonder if GW 6-inch is the same as others. My answer to that would be, in this case, they're probably about 2 inches short. That's what she said. But for the most part, I would imagine that a tape measure that's measuring in inches and centimeters and millimeters is the same no matter where you get it from, unless it's one of those dodgy ones.
Why are women so bad at measuring, so bad at judging distances? Like, because they keep getting told that's 6 inches.
I'm not even. I'm not even going to go.
Can you still hear me, Ryan? Because I'm just going to conduct the interview like this now.
Yeah,
if that's okay.
Please do that. Yeah, Chris.
I need to protect my identity.
What do you mean that isn't 6 inches?
I'm just gonna. So Chris Frunda, I'm really sorry about your last name, Chris. Has asked, is that actually enforced? So I did ask this, and the response that I got was yes. To be able to participate in this event, you need to have dice, tape, the models, and the book. Otherwise, it's a no-go. So the one thing I didn't ask is that book available on the app? And if so, would that count? Because I'm pretty sure it's cheaper.
I'm sure it would. Like,
well, if you purchase the product,
I mean, yeah. And okay, put it this way: what about if in that? I don't know what the event is yet, right? I don't understand what everything that's about to happen in it. But let's just say in this event, you have to bring an army, and of course, me being me and being a sucker for punishment and not enjoying winning games, I'll bring free guild, and I want to shoot with a unit of 30 handgunners. How much is it going to cost me to buy 30 dice, and so I don't have to continuously roll in lots of 10? Yeah, nah. I'm gonna go as a customer. I'm going to be looking for a store, an independent store that's doing the same bloody event without those requirements. And that's just me as a consumer. That's not me as a caster, and that's not me as a person of the community with influence or anything. I'm a customer. I'm a GW customer. I blow cash on GW plastic, but I don't want to pay that. I'm gonna raise my hand. Can you maybe pass off those white dice that you get in the starter kits as GW dice? Because then you've just got. Then you don't have to buy a.
I mean, really, the only thing that it's going to be regulating against is people who buy Chessex dice, or people who have gaming club dice, or people who have custom dice that are obviously a fair bit more expensive than your standard Games Workshop dice. But like at the end of the day, it's all dice.
Okay, Chris, I do apologize. It's a silent P. And because of me making a dick of myself on cast, first set of brushes goes to you. Please message us on our Facebook page, your details, and I will have them sent out.
And you earned yourself for 2.
Yeah.
Good on your eyes.
Oh, shit, sorry.
Personally call you and leave a voice message apologizing profusely. Yeah. And while he breaks his free guild in the background, crying.
Thanks, buddy. Anyway, that's one prize. We've still got 3 to go. So
I might have to change the rules from giving you guys warnings to every time you swear Brinley can paint me a model. I'd be okay with that.
All right, no, let's not do this. You'll have a lot of very painted models.
I've already got poorly painted models.
So I guess my call out here is with the news, because I know this is taking a while. Is
so long.
It's a point of contention. I can understand where GW is coming from, because at the end of the day, it's a business and they need to make money and they want to look good. And it's the same as like look up the it's the same as wearing the T-shirt and hat or something of whatever business. It's a uniform. It's gonna look good, especially if that store needs to set up tables somewhere that the public can see. I get that, but like No one's going to be checking dice. Like, go easy. You know what I mean? Like, it's already an expensive hobby in Australia. So I'm really interested to know what everybody thinks. The chat, like it's going nuts at the moment with people's opinions, and that's really good. However, nobody else can see those opinions once this show ends. So drop a comment underneath this video. And what I will do is I will take those comments if you like, and I'm happy to present them to GW. And I mean, can I just say that it's not because I don't support GW, and some of the people that have already told me they're not going to go to this just because of that reason aren't GW haters. One of them has a bloody Space Marine tattoo. Like, you don't get much more GW supportive than that. Because let's face it, they're a shit army and a shit system, and he's still got it tattooed. So
yeah, we just don't like the direction that this is starting to go. This is like, okay, let's all be honest here. If independent store did the same stuff, saying you cannot, we got a free tournament, but you can only compete if you buy the book, buy the miniature, buy our dice, use our tape measure, and have a fully painted army. It would be like, we're not going to do that.
And you know what that means as well? If anybody here who's watching this video is part of the staff or managers or owns an independent store and you're doing this, there's going to be people that just can't afford to do it at the GW store that still love the hobby and are still part of the community and deserve the opportunity to participate in a global campaign as well. If you're a store and you're doing this and you don't have those requirements, obviously people are going to have the model, and I can get the book. Like, I understand that. Fair call. Yeah, all right. Those two things, but maybe the other requirements aren't there. Let us know as well. Drop a comment, drop in the chat, whatever it is, because there's people out there that, they've put everything that they can afford to put into the hobby into it already. So I'll be going to an independent store for this one, unfortunately, GW. Because I can't afford to buy some GW dice for that. So
you should really stop playing 40k, Ron.
You should really
go yourself. Yeah,
a bit of time. Look, I've got GW dice and tape measures here. Like, I mean, you can go, buddy. Like, I mean, you've already bought the cheeseburger of a book. You just need another miniature.
So I think it's the wrong book for starters, but you need the Malign Portents book. And
what did you
buy? I bought nothing. I didn't buy anything. I got given the Legions of Nagash battle time.
Ew.
So I will be participating in this global campaign. Thank you, GW, for setting up the global campaign, and I will be participating in one of our local independent stores, of whom I purchase many of your fine goods through.
How are you planning on capturing the comments in the chat? I've just got someone asking me.
What?
How are you going to capture the comments in the chat? Are you just going to screenshot it?
Well, but like I said, we can't. The chat doesn't follow through once the cast is over. So leave your comments in the comment section of this video, because they'll be there forever, and then we can say, look, here you go. Yeah.
Everything you put on the internet is there forever.
It's as me and Todd found out that one time after band camp.
So, like, for instance, Jason's in action now. He's saying,
not anymore, Brimley. Not anymore.
Jason is saying, if my store has those rules, then I won't be playing. And that's because Jason obviously thinks somewhere along the same lines as me. And I get that, Jason. I do. I'm pretty sure that there's some places that in Brisbane that won't be enforcing that, and if you like, I will have a few of those to be able to let you know about. If you contact us after this cast via our Facebook page or our Twitter, or just text Brenly on 0403 555 777.
Damn it!
Hashtag fake number. Yeah.
Hashtag not fake.
So now, also Chris Frunder with the silent P. If you don't message us on our Facebook page with your details for your brushes, they will go to somebody else. most likely Brindley, so he can finish painting my Hurricane.
I mean, I've already
so that's
here, but I will happily eat those. And
that's the Malign Portents thing.
You're done. We've had our rant.
Yes.
We've done
so
we felt strongly about it. We have a media outlet for a reason. There's no point in doing OzHammer if we can't say exactly what we want.
Feel better.
And I'll also just say that is just my opinion. It's not even Brindley's opinion, because nobody gives a shit about Brindley's opinion. But it also isn't the opinion of anybody else that we're associated with. I'm joking. We have no friends, but that's just my opinion. And opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Mine probably stinks the worst.
Ryan's is just
all right.
Bigger than
That's true. I'm out of here.
Yeah, get out. You should make me paint a model.
Don't make me paint a model. I'm looking at these going, how am I going to paint these? All right. You still want me to paint a model. Anyway, that's it. I mean, there is other news. I would really, really, really suggest everybody if you haven't subscribed to our channel, go and subscribe to our channel. What are you doing? You're a bad person for not subscribing yet.
What are you watching? You don't
right now. But also go and subscribe to Warhammer Weekly. There was a whole bunch of talk about stuff that's been coming out recently. Doom and Darkness as well. The other day I was on Warhammered, which is Paul Conti's stuff. And we briefly discussed it there in between gins and making fun of them for being American. But yeah, so there's a whole bunch of other AOS news out there. Please don't make me repeat it all, because, I got to encourage you guys to roam around and check out all the awesome stuff that's been out there from the community as well. So Warhammer Weekly, Paul Conti, Doom and Darkness, OzHammer, mostly OzHammer. Subscribe, damn it.
Everybody subscribe to OzHammer.
Join our ever-growing legion of people who come and join us and abuse us in the chat, which is fine. I am the Hobo King. I will take that title one day.
You're definitely the Hobo King.
I am so the Hobo King.
Amazing. I was really surprised when I rocked up.
You don't worry, you just come up to a couple box, you're like, oh, hey guys.
when there was like that easement at the end of the street, and I was just looking down the side there to see if I could find you.
It's like that episode of The Mighty Boosh. It's the Crack Fox. I love that show.
Sean has said it will be interesting to see if GW has targets for the campaign, and if it will hit those targets with such restrictions. Damn straight, it'll be interesting, Sean. But knowing most of the people out there, I would imagine they're still going to possibly get there.
So have you
this was a worldwide event, so this probably isn't something that's just facing Australians. However, the price point for GW products in Australia, and New Zealand's even worse again, is so much higher than the rest of the world that when stuff like this happens, we tend to get a bit more dirtier about it. And I'm just a grumpy ass in general. So,
thank you.
Danasco said the price point is so rough when I want green for Green Wing, black for Raven Wing, and bone for Death Wing. Yes. All yes. I don't know. Sure. No idea. What else have we got here? Rob Dog, I just want to say hello because your name's Rob Dog. Rob Dog.
Pretty
Rob
cool
Dog.
name.
Yeah.
Rob Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's about it. Alex Wells is saying nice screensaver. I'm guessing possibly maybe
Mine.
I don't know.
Clearly.
And then there's some talk about the Legion of Wargamers. I don't know if that's still a thing, guys. I'm sorry. Where was the info about the in-store comp rules from? The information I got about the information I got for the info about the in-store comp rules was from a Facebook page for a local GW store here in Brisbane on the north side. That's
the quality.
So, look, I don't want to point out individual stores, so sorry about that, Jay. And then, yeah, David Radovic said 40k talk, ha, ha, ha. Please don't talk about 40k anymore. I hate 40k. Nobody plays 40k anymore. Why did my parents call me David as well? There's already so many Davids out there. I'm sorry, David. I have no idea, buddy.
It's a good question. It's a legitimate concern.
Okay, so What was that? Sorry.
You done with your Sigma news?
I am. I was going to ask if before we got into more stuff, you'd like to give something away.
Presents.
Oh, like one of the boxes.
It's up to you, buddy. Would you like to give something away tonight? We kind of did promise we'd give stuff away.
Oh yeah, look, we've got a box of Poxwalkers.
Like, not like you've got enough hobby. You're so reluctant.
All right, so so it's 40k. So we're going to ask a 40k question. And the first person to answer this in chat will get the box. Let me just consult with my associate here. How do I mute this?
Really? Yeah. Let me. You're muted now. Okay. So they're going to talk about stuff, and they're going to make you guys answer a question because they're dicks. I told them to just give shit away. So this has nothing to do with me. This is typical 40k players for you. They're going to ask a question, hoping it will be easy, but they're not smart. Well, mind you, one's a teacher, so he's pretty smart. But Brindley's probably lowering his IQ just by being in the same vicinity as him. Oh, God, they're reading he doesn't even know how to read. He knows how to paint. He paints. He doesn't know how to read. Why is he reading a book? I don't know. David Maidman, don't tell them to give me a model to paint. We both know what will happen, all right? We both know. It'll just go back to Brindley or Timmy or Jono or Jamie.
Right.
Oh, here we go.
Right. So the first person to name 10 Gaunt's ghosts, excluding Gaunt, will win this box. First one in the chat. 10 people go.
There are 10, aren't there?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, there's at least 10. 10
characters. 10 characters. First person to get 10 characters.
Wow.
Oh, gee. So basically what this is a competition of who can Google the fastest. That was a mosquito.
Remember, a true fan will know them by heart. I've got to go pick that book up now.
Remember, it's for the grand
Shadow Prime 42 has already answered. All Bob.
Or Bob.
I'm sorry, but
give that man a Poxwalker.
Can we give that? Can we give it to Shadow Prime, please? Because that's the best answer.
No, that's not the competition at all.
Here we go. Gaunt, Mr. Happy Pants, Doodle Face, Gaunty McGaunt Face, Flibble Pants, Mrs. Token Woman. That was Alex Wells.
You've got Token Black Guy. I mean, Token Red Person.
You got to take it there. So...
Oh, they'll get it eventually. Anyway, all right. So while they're fucking going on about all the crazy crap that they usually do, we're gonna go on to news.
Okay,
so
go on to news.
I will. Kicking off. Ryan, shut up. On Pub Hammer, so April 28th, they're going to be doing 30k at BrizCon. Death of a Dream is going to be very exciting. Then Brisbane Independent Wargamers Club, Feb 11. Actually, I think that's just passed. They had their club day. Good on you guys.
Yeah, that was like yesterday.
I'm sure. There we go. This is Monday. Right, so Warrior Lodge, Feb 18, that's coming up really, really close. So this is Warhammer. This is the one I keep asking about. 40k doubles invitational and 40k 3k singles. So that's going to be something crazy going on there. Someone should really tell me about that. March the 4th, Age of Sigmar doubles event should be pretty exciting. Then Magic Vault, March 10th, they got a Warhammer 40k First Strike 2 event happening. Magic Vault is actually kind of close to the city, a little bit more north from the Games Workshop store in the central CBD. So if you're around the Bray Park area, Warner, Stafford, that's kind of going to be like where you want to game.
It's just on Stafford Road? Or?
Yeah, just on Stafford Road. Yeah. It's pretty good. We've got two lads from the Maury Gaming Club in the chat tonight. Maury Gaming Club, they are in Maury, curiously enough. Actually, no, hold on.
Sorry, can I just interrupt you for a second there?
Modaka. Hold on, we've got Modaka.
If you ever watch this show,
Modaka,
when you're older, you've left me with this craft glue from your craft box of school equipment that I grabbed so that I could glue my bases down. And it's blocked, and I can't unblock it, and I'm pretty sure it's childproof. What is wrong with you, girl? That is the last time I buy you art supplies.
I feel like that glue is basically a euphemism for your life.
No, it's just she was able to use it perfectly. But as soon as I go to use it, it doesn't work.
Childproof? It's like the non-toxic one, so you can't eat it.
Can't you? Carry on.
You're gonna have a bad time. Hold on, I was just gonna find this. No Daka. Toddy, keep reading the.
Okay, so where are we?
List. We're up to the Maury Gaming Club. Don't read the Vanderbilt one. I think I've got that wrong.
All right, skipping. So North Queensland Knights. No, you're empty. Queensland Gamers Guild. No, you're empty. All right, 9th Age Australian Community BrizCon, November 17th, the Asia Pacific Singles Championship, followed by.
Right. All 20 of the community are going, and they're taking their mums. That's 40.
So that one I just read out said November the 17th. But if you were able to
18.
travel.
No, 18. You're an 18.
What? You want me to change that to 18?
Change that to an 18.
Okay. So I've changed it. So not only is it not on November 17th.
Hang on. David Maidment, Corbeck, Dorden, Milo, Larkin, Gaunt himself. I don't care. It's 40k. More AoS, please, and don't eat paste, Ryan. Oh.
Wait,
I actually thought he did.
He didn't get to 10, did he?
And he said Gaunt.
No, but then Scott Holmes has said Rawn, Gold Collier, which sounds like some sort of STD, Van Dairy, Flynn Merrin, Shoggy, Corbeck, Wilder, Park, Dorden, Akuda.
Done. He's the winner. Who's that man?
That's 10, or maybe 11. No, it's 10. That's 10.
That's
10.
That's 6 pox. That's 6 pox walkers.
He's got you. You've just got yourself some pox walkers. That's
okay,
awesome.
Scott, contact us on Facebook and give us your details, and we will get that out to you.
So you want me to finish reading this now?
Yeah, you can go.
Because these are in the wrong order, because I just said November 18, and now we're going back to May the 6th.
No one listen. No one cares.
All right,
cool. So
welcome
May
to
the
mine
6th.
every Monday. This is what he does.
Usually in May. That's going to be cool.
I don't know what that is.
Nothing there. Australian Defence Force Wargaming Association, for those of you who are serving or who are ex-serving members. Thanks for your service. On April 21st, there is the Anzac Cup. All proceeds do go to Legacy, which is a foundation for veterans. So like, if you're obviously already doing a good thing for your country, do more good things by going to this event. This should be very exciting. Friday night gaming in Orange, Feb 24, double stubble Age of Sigmar team event. Really exciting. Guys, get on to me with that. Send me some pictures from it. That's going to be really cool. I'm actually looking forward to it. Games Cube Sydney, Feb 17. So this weekend coming up, they've got a 40k monthly at the Games Cube. And then Feb 18, so on Sunday, they're going to have an Age of Sigmar monthly at Games Cube. And then on the 24th, they've got Horus Heresy at the Games Cube. Very, very, very exciting.
Damn this thing.
All right, so next one down. So we've got Mo Daka Gaming. So scroll up for me. Go back to where their event is. So for those of you who aren't really aware, Mo Daka Gaming is a gaming group that's within the Brisbane, Ipswich, Logan area. Cool group of guys. They run a whole pile of different events. They've got Age of Sigmar lads. They've got 40k lads. They've got people who do Blood Bowl, specialist games. Pretty cool group of dudes. We've got 2 guys chilling out in the chat for those of you who want to ask questions, or if they're probably just here to heckle us as per usual. So they've got an event coming up. It's called what's it called? Hold on, where is it? Okay, so it's called Banter Bowl, and it's a Blood Bowl league. It should be pretty exciting. For those of you who want to check it out, go to their Facebook page. Really cool group of guys, good local group. Check them out. Chill out, do what you want to. Talk to them in the chat, abuse them, whatever. Scrolling down, and last but not least, we have Irresistible Force, the kind people who have provided us with those boxes that we're giving away. So your Foxcasters and whatever unfortunate soul wins the Stormcast Liberators. They are courtesy of Irresistible Force down in Tanamera, Logan. And they've got a couple events coming up. So March 17, they've got Scouting of Talos. It's going to be awesome. Are you going to that?
March 17th, one hells, yeah.
You'll be going to that. I'll probably be there. Then April 7, we've got Force Axe 2. So 1,000 points, 2 detachments. Just crazy shenanigans. Get in it. It's a great one. They recently had.
I love Ryan so much. Afterpay for the win.
What?
So Alex in chat just said, "I love Irresistible Force so much. Afterpay for the win." That's actually really good. Really good.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know,
actually.
Force, they do Afterpay.
Yeah,
So,
and they have a website, so you don't need to actually be in Brisbane to buy from them.
you can, and they'll post it to you, or they'll deliver it, post it. I can't remember.
Yeah,
One of the
something
two.
like that. They're pretty bloody awesome. So
They're pretty cool.
good shout out, Alex.
Good shout out. Good.
Sorry,
Thanks for
carry
reminding.
on. My bad.
And then April 14th, they've got the Southeast Queensland teams tournament, 3 main teams, German format. And then is that us? And then July 29th, they've got Force Axe 3, another 1K 2 detachment event, which I will be most certainly going to.
It was really fun.
I really enjoyed the small 1K formats that we're doing.
Is it the scouting? It's the one earlier on March 17th. Is that the 500-point one?
Yeah, it's the 500-point one. So it's going to be even better. So for those of you who want to, I mean, March 17th, that's ages away. Like, technically, I could probably get, like, a couple of dudes worth of chimeras and just run them. Yeah. It'd be pretty happy.
Do you have to buy certain dice and tape to do that one? Oh, too soon.
No, you can bring your very expensive custom dice if you want. I'll be bringing my beautiful Chess X dice, which I love. And so that's really it for the major events. Obviously, over in you've got an announcement for Perth, our friends over at Objective Secured.
Oh yeah, okay. So I was speaking to Michael today, and they had an AOS event yesterday. It was 5 games of 1250 points. They had 30 players, and the reason I was really keen to talk about this was because the winner was Nurgle. So, and obviously, as we all know, Nurgle have had a bunch of new releases and stuff, and it's amazing to see that so early on into it, Nurgle's already taking competitions, and I think that shows that, well, 2 things. Either the book is broken and everybody should go out and buy Nurgle now because it's the new Vanguard wing, or they've made a really good bloody battle tome, and G-Dub have pulled it off again and done something really good for a army that really needed it. So Nurgle took it out, and then they've got a road trip as well coming up to Albany. It's in mid-March, and it's a Warhammer camp. So it's aka Line Breaker, and it's 4 hours south of Perth. So if you guys don't, those of you that are listening that are in the Perth area or fancy a road trip to Perth and then another road trip to Albany, that's a 40k event that I think is going to be really cool. Why do I think it's really cool? And am I just talking shit? No, because these guys have some of the best terrain that I've seen, and they've got lots of it. They always produce good tables, like always, and their events are always packed. So much so that they're actually quite well known in the community, and they do actually go overseas to the States as well to do their events. So they're doing something right. And if you ever get the opportunity to go one of these, I suggest you definitely go to it. So check out the Objective Secured Facebook page. I believe they've got a website as well. They're everywhere. Just look up Objective Secured. And I'm not a 40k fan, but if somebody said, "Hey, let's go to one," it'd probably be theirs. So yeah, they've been busy, and they're busy all year round. So check that out. And congratulations to the winner of the last AOS event there, which I believe is one of their first forays into AOS as well. So apparently a great success.
Wow.
That's all I got to say about that.
Are you sure there's not like one more Age of Sigmar event? Or Age of Sigmar, I suppose, gathering that's going to be happening down.
Are you talking about BrizCon?
Can you just like look in the chat? Can you look in our chat?
He was trying to be so stealthy to type it to you, man.
Yeah.
Really.
I don't want to talk about it. No.
Right.
So fine. All right. I don't need to look at your crappy chat because I already know what you're going to talk about. So this Sunday, and Brentley's right, this is probably the biggest, craziest, most important event and I want to say all of AOS history worldwide. I've got to put it out there. we are having a little get together, and you're all invited. Everybody is invited to Irresistible Force in Tanamera, which is in a suburb on the south side of Brisbane, not too far over the Story Bridge. And we're all going to be playing AoS there. It's going to be a massive, massive day. I've been challenged to a 7,000 point, so that's each person, 7,000 points, so 14,000 point game of Age of Sigmar against the local lad, Timmy. Good fella, but he will die. So it is going to be my Free Guild / Stormcast versus his horde of Nurgle. So that's happening, and that's going to be a massive day. So that's on the 18th, and it's running from 10 o'clock in the morning right through till whenever. So it's going to be a big day. We've got a whole bunch of you in chat right now. In fact, if you're in chat and you're listening to us right now, go to our Facebook page, find the event, tell us that you're coming, and there's no entry fee. There's going to be tables. Bring an army, find an opponent, and just throw dice. We don't care what tape measure you bring. We don't care what dice you bring. But it's a really big store as well, and I think they've got like a ridiculous amount of tables. So, so come on down. I mean, I do know that there's going to. We've already had a lot of people say that they're coming. I think we've already got a dozen coming, but I'd like 2 dozen. Like I really would. So if you haven't already, I'd love to meet you all, so that I can explain to you in person why I think Brindley's such a dickhead. And and I think that once you actually see it, it's easier to believe. So, or vice versa, it's probably me, and Brendan's a good guy.
If you hit a tin, and all donations will go to the Melt This Hurricane in a Microwave.
That's terrible. Actually, I'm going
to bring an extra. I'm just going to bring a bin, because there's going to be so many people throwing coins in that thing.
You need to make some kind.
Depending on how many people we actually get signed up. Depending on how many people we actually get signed up, I may be telling Brindley to bring his ute so we can put a barbecue in the back.
Ew. I'm
giving it some thought. So, and then AUSHAMMER will put on a barbecue. But this is being hosted and held by the Irresistible Force guys. Now, it's a way to kind of meet a lot of the AoS community, especially on the south side, because Southsiders, man, where are you guys at? It seems like you're all fragmented and all out and about and stuff. And we just really wanted to sort of promote the community there on the south side of Brisbane and try to get more people involved and down to the store and stuff like that. So especially if you're a Southsider, we definitely want to see you there. And everybody's welcome. It's going to be crazy. We've already got people setting up grudge matches and stuff. I know there's a gentleman by the name of Rob. He is putting his, can't remember what Chaos Army he's got, up against Jamie's Space Geckos. So there's going to be a lot going on. And it really is, all thanks to Irresistible Force. Those guys are really going to hold something awesome. And we're just going to be a part of it, I guess, and try to bring everybody together.
I wouldn't, they're good, but they're just like, they kind of treat us in the same way you would treat like a confused, disabled child.
You like their least favorite.
To clarify, that's not they friendly.
So like the least favorite family member.
Yeah. You're couch licker, aren't you?
Look, no, it is going to be awesome. It's going to be an awesome gathering at an awesome store. And if you guys haven't if you guys haven't already gone to the event thing and said that you're coming, you're going to miss out because it will be really cool. It really will be. And I'd love to see you guys there. So when you're listening to us now, jump on our Facebook page or the Irresistible Force Facebook page, find the event, and just let us know that you're coming. Drop a comment in there if you've got a specific army and you want a game. Let us know. And we'll definitely do everything we can to make sure that happens. So there's plenty of space, there's plenty of time, and I don't see why everybody won't have at least one game. And again, I'm bringing 7,000 points of shit. So yeah, free tables, free everything, basically for your game. You know, and on top of that, it's a store. So if you need anything, it's all there, and they're pretty darn good on price. And they do Afterpay, like Alex said earlier. So yeah,
Afterpay is definitely a big selling point for me. I'm pretty happy with that.
I don't understand Afterpay.
Okay, so you're paying like $200 straight up. You get the product, and then you pay $50 a pay for 4 pays. I think
It's really nice.
yeah, something like that.
something like that. I don't know.
Basically, it splits it up into fortnightly payments, so that you can pay it off over 4 fortnights. And there's no like interest or anything like that. It's just the pay. You pay the first payment, and then the rest are
It's like a slow release of buyer's regret. But when you buy like that $400 Vallejo paint set,
So,
you're like,
David said, "Everyone, can we have a moment of silence?" Ryan is holding a paintbrush because the lid of the paste thing won't squirt the paste out. David, I've got to brush it on like a pleb.
Well, maybe if you didn't try to eat it, it wouldn't like congeal with your saliva, and you wouldn't have this problem. I'm gonna screenshot that. Give me our new logo.
You guys finally do shirts.
You can finally do shirts. No, because everyone would see it. Everyone would see it, just be like, "Man, stay in the office."
All right, so we've come to the most important part of the show.
Next to our guest.
Next, which is the end.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'll see you later.
Yeah, we're getting out of here. We're gonna get a drink. No, we brought out the amazing Mr. Todd Heffernan, school teacher extraordinaire, hopefully part-time writer in the near future, but mostly hobby enthusiast.
Yeah.
Onto AUSHAMMER, because you do some amazing stuff with the next generation, which is what this show is all about. So for a lot of us who have been doing it for, like, let's be honest, Warhammer's, 40k is like 30 years old now.
Yeah.
It's pretty safe to assume that a lot of us are over 30 who can remember back that far. Like, if you can't, I personally can't.
No. I go back a little bit,
but having been hobbyists and having children in this hobby is a fairly real prospect for a lot of us who play. We often accommodate games days and paint or games days and events with our families.
Yeah.
A lot of people at events such as Warrior Lodges, and there are some places down in Melbourne. Like, a lot of people will bring their kids to the events. Like, I played in tournaments where it's been father and son's teams.
Cool.
Mother and daughter's teams. But
that's really
actually,
cool.
yeah, there's a father and son team at the Warrior Lodge. Shout out to Jono and his boy Ethan.
Yeah, good old Ethan.
Oh, nice.
Basically,
Ethan's a pretty cool kid.
Yeah, so having kids and part of the hobby is basically, it's one of those things that a lot of us start to actually consider. How do we continue doing hobby? Like, it's anything. Like, it's any passion that we do, like incorporating our children into it, being able to participate with them, be able to show our children something that we love and we enjoy. Like, I've got my oldest is
being able to trust them with the knowledge of the real prices for all the things that you buy and don't tell you lies about.
Like, they don't have to worry about that yet. You just buy them off. You just buy the miniatures.
Buy their love.
Yeah, buy their love.
Is that your motto?
Buy their silence. That's exactly what
the silence. No, we can't say that. I'm never on the list. But this is something that we have to do. I've got a 3.5. He likes watching me paint, and I actually have miniatures for him so that he can sit down and just throw, like, basically Crayola paint on them.
Yep.
Like, they're just Tau battle suits. No one cares. Like, they're just.
Was there a bit of you that kind of like? Oh.
Not really. Oh, Ryan's got to bugger off and do something, but that's okay because it's just us and it's locked in our screen, so we're good to go. But yeah, I have Tau battle suits, like, they're the old school ones that are for him. They're painted. But what you do, like, you don't have any kids yet.
No, not my own.
But you have other children because you're a teacher. Yeah. And what you do at your school is absolutely amazing, which is a gaming club. So this is like next level. So this is not taking your child to Games Workshop, so you can look at miniatures. It's not taking them to an event so they can play in the event. This is literally some dude teaching other people's children about Warhammer. So tell us about it, man.
Well, when you put it like that, it's pretty risky.
It's pretty, whoa.
Yeah. So about 2 years ago, I had a group of kids who were a bit rowdy out in the playground, and they were always getting into trouble, like mucking around and causing a bit of a scene. And you know, they were just like any of us at their age, like kids who liked, you know, aliens, monsters. They like the action stories and all that kind of stuff.
Loving it.
So I just had this thought, you know, I'll see if any of them are interested in the hobby. Selfishly as well, you know, it was an experience. It was a chance for me to get back into it and start doing it a bit more.
Oh, come off it! You just wanted to find a way to hobby at work.
Yeah,
exactly, dude.
Every chance I get to do hobby is me not working. So there's a nice balance.
There's a pretty good way of doing it.
But I actually had some really positive results with the kids, and I went up to. Am I allowed to like shamelessly sell?
Yes.
Yeah,
dude.
sweet.
You can do whatever you want, man.
Cool.
We have no allegiances to anyone.
Oh, excellent. So
we're the players.
I went and visited Alistair up at Games Workshop Brisbane, and he was just such a help.
Is this secondary school? Someone's asking in the chat.
Well, so I'm a primary school teacher, and I teach grades 5 and 6. But the kids that I take to my Warhammer club range from that age group all the way up to senior. I don't.
Yeah.
I just let anyone who wants to join in.
Yeah.
I let them know at the school. We run a lunchtime, and so yeah, pretty much on a Thursday, it's a dedicated day for me where lunchtimes is I run a little hobby group at the school where we pretty much bought all the starter sets I could get my hands on from Blake down at Capalaba Warhammer, who's absolute legend. He is.
The guys down at Capalaba, my God, I cannot speak highly enough of their level of customer service. They are such a cool group of dudes. Like just Blake himself. If you could just like contain the amount of awesome that is in that man, like
you could find a way to bottle him.
Oh, dude,
it's profit.
It is profit, 100% profit, just right there.
Guys, we don't want him to pull a sickie and not show up to work tomorrow because he has too much smoke up his ass.
Just get back to gluing your fingers together.
Blake is an awesome fellow though.
I run this group on a lunchtime where the kids can come and go as they please. Like it's not a lock-in, buy-in kind of thing. I've funded pretty much 100% of it myself just to get the hobby up and running. Teach them the basics, how to paint. I've done my best at teaching them how to play the game because I'm a terrible gamer. I don't win very many games, so teaching the rules kind of feels like I'm just setting them up for failure. But outside of that, you know, then we just have a good fun there. And then Thursday afternoons, we all head down to Capalaba, and yeah, we're all welcome.
That's amazing.
Everyone has a good time. I'm getting a bit more serious this year. It started off as just, if you want to show up, you show up.
Yeah.
If you want to paint. And now I'm kind of like setting benchmarks for the kids who've been doing it for a little while. You know, trying not to create a generation of guys or girls with legions of grey armies.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, unlike us, we are stuck in that. You know, especially Ryan. He's kind of stuck in this world of unpainted free guild by the thousands of grey, disgusting free guild everywhere. I can't talk actually. There's a lot of grey on this shelf over here.
We're all good.
A lot of it's mine.
A lot of it's yours. Yeah, this hurricane just won't leave.
It will as soon as you finish painting the bastard.
As soon as it gets scraped out of the inside of the microwave.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for. But that's amazing. And so you're thinking of taking it to the next step.
Yeah.
And this is where it gets really interesting. This is kind of why you're on here.
Yeah. So it's been a really rewarding experience.
Yeah.
Like getting this little hobby group together, getting kids who are of different age groups. They've got boys and girls ranging from grades 5 and 6 all the way up to senior school. and they've all gotten along so well, and they're all so invested in it now that I thought it would be a bit of a waste just to kind of leave it at that.
Yeah.
So I kind of, you know, obviously on here with you guys because I think it'd be really cool to explore that, look at other schools, like getting that.
Yeah.
So what that kind of passion?
So what you're wanting to do, you're getting a package together so people can replicate this same sort of hobby club in other schools.
Yeah. It's like, it's just something that, you know, you put a little bit of work in at the beginning and set yourself up, and then move on from that and just let it grow naturally.
Yeah.
Like I think the days, like when I started doing the hobby and I was in school, you know, it was something that if you wanted to read your White Dwarf at silent reading time, you'd have to put another book over the top of it.
Exactly. Like there is so much less of a stigma in today's schools than there was when obviously we were going through. I mean, like no one really cares anymore.
No, and I think it's awesome that other people, you know, get to see this in a way that they didn't ever see it before too. One of the big things that I always talk to the parents about, because I'm pretty much taking their children to go spend hundreds of their dollars.
Yeah.
Like it's not the kids' money.
But in saying that, this is money away from video games, and as cool as video games are, this constant culture of instant gratification.
You know what it is? It's money away from real crack. And you're replacing it with plastic.
And also, pretty much, if you get your kids into Warhammer, they're probably not going to ever have enough money for
a drug habit. Yeah, that's right. And actually, probably barely ever enough money for a girlfriend until they've got a full job as well. So, you know, you kind of keep that chastity going.
But that whole thing of getting kids away from video games has been the biggest sell point for a lot of parents.
Yeah, which is huge, and it's something that.
Which is hilarious considering the amount of video games that have spawned off Warhammer.
Yeah, which is just as, I mean, like Total War is still an amazing game, and all the other stuff.
Is.
But the actual hobby itself provides an actual, like, you can actually hold something in your hands. Like,
you get kids in an environment where they're socializing with people outside of their normal circles.
Yeah.
They're reading the rules like all the time. Like, they're reading because they want to learn. You know, it doesn't matter what it's about.
Yeah, my son's like Pokemon cards.
You've got math, you've got data and statistics. Like and the further that they get into the hobby, you know, the more avenues there are for them to explore.
Yeah, not to mention the book series and stuff like that for those young adults. You know, year 11, year 12. You want something good to read? Go and get the Horus Heresy. Like, here's you know.
I have a friend of mine who's donated of stuff. Yeah. Al donated stuff. Blake's donated stuff. Like the community's really come together. But we've got books in the school library now.
Yeah,
like there are kids.
Man.
Yeah.
This is how fun this introduces such an amazing hobby to an entirely new generation. And like throughout like basically we've been running like a, you know, do your kids do Warhammer? Are you a parent of a wargamer? Like, for all those people who've been sending their stories and showing us pictures of your kids painting and gaming, you know, you guys have introduced your child to a truly amazing hobby and community that is, like, from where it was a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
this is the place to be now. This is a very, very positive hobby. This is like a very decent online community. Obviously, not all of it's that great, but look, you get that anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that's not a big deal.
But overall,
so how young's the youngest kid in your group? Jay Smith has asked.
So I've got on my lunch times, it's any kid who rocks up. So I've actually got a girl who's in grade 4 these days, and
that's
she comes in
9 years old.
Yeah, turning 10, and she paints
that's my daughter's age. Okay,
she paints like the best of them. Like I have to hardly tell her what to do at all. She knows. She painted half a box of Stormcast Eternal for me, and just
winning. So what you're telling me is that you're actually doing this to skirt around child labour laws.
They're all my own miniatures.
Yeah, basically. and Tim Myers has asked, have you tapped into the special education classes within the schools? He knows from experience that there are kids in there that are interested, and it's a great way to bring them out of their shell.
Absolutely. I'm really lucky where I work because I kind of get an opportunity. we have an opportunity to allow kids who've got those fringe interests to explore them a little bit. But this is something that you can set up in a lunchtime. Like if you've got a space and you're passionate, and you've got kids who are passionate about it, it was really easy to get a constant stream of people through, whether it's to game, whether it's to paint, or whether it's just to sit and read a White Dwarf magazine. Like they're all welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a space to practice the hobby.
Yeah.
The space.
Yeah, and I think more importantly as well is that hopefully people are listening to this show and can name me all 3 of the Mortarks of Death under Nagash, because the first one to do so will win the Liberators. But yeah, carry on.
Just continue. Yeah, what you're able to
Is it
do.
Neferati, Arcan the Black, and
So typical teacher giving away the answer.
oh,
We shall find out.
Good monster. They've got the chat's just gone dead silent because
Yeah.
they're just like ah.
everyone's now scrambling. The answers are wrong,
They're
by
all
the
wrong.
way. It's Grimgor.
So, but please carry on while we wait.
Harry
Yeah.
Potter and
Well, yeah, that's pretty much where I started, was just a very small group of kids who were interested in painting instead of running around the hot sun, and then it turned into
Ben Spinetti, you have won the Liberators, Neferata, Manfred, and Arcan. Please contact us via Facebook with the details, and we will get the Liberators to you.
congratulations.
Well played, sir. Well played.
For yours, buddy. No, don't do that.
Carrying
Just
on.
Users before. Yeah, but what you've done in the hobby for these kids, you've started creating a very unique culture within your school, and you're getting together like a package in the near future that's going to be able to be released.
hopefully so.
Other schools, like I personally hope Games Workshop is listening, because this is something they could totally get on board with.
Yeah, I would be all for selling myself to Games Workshop. That's I think everyone's dream who gets into this hobby one day.
Who wouldn't? This is all we're doing. We're just doing AUSHAMMER until they hire us, and then
Well, I think after what I've just said tonight, I don't think I'll be getting that letter of offer anytime soon.
Look, I'm still good. I'll still sell out. It's okay, guys. Don't worry.
Shameless Brindley.
Shamelessly hobo kinging the sellout. Someone's gonna pay for my cardboard box.
But one of the funny you're saying about that package is one of the best things to happen in the hobby, just from my end of things, was when Dark Imperium came out and they released the smaller starter boxes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It is. I can now confidently go to a teenage 13-year-old, 14-year-old who's working at Macca's. You can get into the hobby at this reasonable rate, and so many of them have saved their money and just gone out and bought stuff and then brought it in to share it. Yeah, it's been fantastic. So.
And what's the challenge? Like the biggest challenge with having a bunch of kids in a room with expensive plastic miniatures. I mean, do they break them frequently and shit? Like, are you constantly fixing stuff? So
the very first day I ran this hobby group, I had a kid pick up 2 Liberators and continuously bash them together until they were no longer Liberators.
I am going to say, and I'm saying this as a Stormcast player, that's the best thing anyone's ever done with 2 Liberators.
Look, pretty much, like 100%.
There's been some hair raising moments. Like a lot of the stuff I invested early on was with my own money and with my own miniatures. So there were hair raising moments, definitely. But I always found that if you were just very, very clear and very, very calm, kids are pretty responsible when they understand the boundaries and what they're doing, they're interested in, then they respect it. So I haven't really had too many issues at all. Just yelling at them to thin their paints mostly.
Yeah, they're pretty. Yeah, I don't know how you go about. Like, I don't even bother trying to tell my kiddo to thin his paints. I don't think he understands.
I've got one young girl who paints every orc in her army a different color.
See, that's beautiful.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's awesome. That's the Rainbow Horde right there.
Yeah.
That is that's Mo Dakar.
Yeah, Mo Dakar.
So yeah, this, as I was saying earlier, this year I'm trying to just step it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, take a less of a backseat approach and just let them do their thing. I'm hoping to be running a Youngbloods tournament down in Capalaba.
This is something we're very, very keenly
Yeah.
looking at, because like they've done Objective Secure, they did a Youngbloods tournament themselves fairly recently, which was amazing. But we want to do the same thing here in Australia, because we recognize, like, now that a lot of kids we have a lot of people in there, and if we can start up like some sort of a regular tournament for them where it's when under 16s are able to play, then I think that's going to be a really good way for people to start getting into the hobby. Like different sort of leagues, who knows? I mean, we've got ITC for adults, which is like it's quickly becoming like the NFL of wargaming.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why there can't be a similar Youngbloods event for.
One of the coolest things that I've experienced in this was and I know that I'm just kind of ranting it, but it's Capalaba is kind of where we go to do our hobby.
Yeah.
So when Blake puts one on, the rules aren't set as like a tournament would be for you and I to go to. Like, so there's changes made so that kids who can only handle running 5 or 6 models in a game can do that. You throw in a couple fun rules, like you know, I've seen ones where kids want to put a football down and they all just get a single character and like have to charge their character, pick up the football, and then run off the board as quickly as possible without getting knocked down to 0 wounds.
Yeah.
So it's just you know, bending the rules slightly so that they can like just gradually work their way into a place where they're confident in running a full game.
That's really, I remember when I was I don't know, like 13 or 14, I had my first.
Jeez, so that's like 6 whole years ago.
That's like yesterday.
You're so youthful looking.
So young, so young looking. I had my first 40k intro game at Warhammer Carindale.
Yeah.
When there was a Warhammer at Carindale. And what the staff did for me and my friend is that we had 2 Space Marine Terminators.
Yep.
And like it was just us and them in the store, and they just had waves upon waves of orcs that just came at these 2 guys, and like obviously they gave us like really it was called movie Marines, and they were just like,
I remember those.
They had like they were just jacked out, like we were hitting on 2s, and then you're like reloading weapons, and like orcs were just coming out of everywhere, just fighting their way across the board. Like it was completely one-sided.
Yeah.
But that's something me and my mate, we still talk about today.
And
like,
I think what's really cool is that's always been the hobby for people.
Yeah, like
just trying to get it organized into like a package or an event, and then getting it out into other schools.
And a theme, and like getting out there, like man, so much nostalgia. Like what you're doing in your school now, I would have died for when I was.
Oh, absolutely.
When I was in high school.
Yeah.
Like, I would
Jay Smith said that he got his 6-year-old his first orcs recently, and he treats them with such respect that it amazed him. And I would just like to say, Jay, these ones here are for your 6-year-old. So get in touch with us so we can get those sent out to you as well.
I'll even find them. From AUSHAMMER
with his glue brush.
With his glue brush.
So so we've So I just wanted to say, I reckon that's pretty awesome, Jay. Spot on for helping raise the next generation of Wargamer. These are for your 6-year-old. So send us a message on our Facebook page, mate, and we'll
stuff tonight.
Post them myself.
So generous.
Thank you very much.
Brindley's drowning in stuff here. He's just like, help.
Brindley doesn't need any more paintbrushes, by the way, because he steals all of mine. And that's okay, because I'm not going to use them.
Next prize goes out for someone who can name an AUSHAMMER member. Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. Not including me and Ryan.
The person who films every one of your videos.
The person who films all of our videos. Ooh. We don't even know who that is.
Who does film those? Anyway.
What you're doing at the moment is amazing. Like introducing your children to the hobby is phenomenal. Yeah. Obviously, you're lucky to have such a good support community through Games Workshop, and obviously
even the people like just who frequent the stores, man.
Exactly. You're able to.
It's really you know, the saying, you know, it takes a village. Couldn't have done this without the help of everybody who's invested in this hobby. You know, I've had so many generous handouts from just people who are like, oh, you got a group of kids. Here's like 300 White Dwarf magazines that I don't want anymore.
Yeah, like you're just getting.
I think what's important as well though is that it's not it's done properly. So you're not just some random dude who's just like, oh yeah, send your kids to come and play with my plastic men. Like, you're qualified to teach these children.
It's all very above board. Yeah, I do commission letters and everything.
No, but like what I really like about it is that because you're qualified as a teacher, you're able to identify aspects of the game, like the damage table, for example, for mathematics, the lore behind the game for English and creative writing, reading and comprehension, things like that most people wouldn't actually pick up. And you're in a unique position where you're able to tie that into education. Now, I love that because it drives me nuts that my son goes to fucking Minecraft club at school. Like, God, throw some dice. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, Minecraft is supposed to encourage, and I heard it does encourage, you know, building and creativity and all that. But like looking at this game, you've got so much more of the curriculum you could actually teach a kid through just Warhammer, and that's something I've actually seen firsthand. A child who's quite deep into the spectrum with autism, able to really learn and pick up a whole bunch of stuff just from dice and hand-eye coordination with a paintbrush, and just get right into it. And it's this awesome universe. Well, universes really. And you're opening that up to a whole bunch of to youngins, because when I go to clubs these days, I don't see like the group isn't getting any younger. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And unless we do something and introduce it to these kids and stuff and show them, and especially with our own kids, like I'm guilty of it. I need to probably do it with my son and daughter a lot more, who have already shown an interest in it. And it's kind of on us as well to sort of bring that in as well. So I just think it's bloody awesome, man. Like you're in a very unique position where you're able to bring out a lot more than what, say, the standard parent would, because we don't really understand a lot about you know, the education side of it as well. But being able to tie the two together, awesome.
One of the coolest things about doing it all was it's not just a social thing for kids as well. It's a really good way for them to learn conflict resolution. So you know, when you
that's it. They're gonna go home and be like, "No, Mum, Dad, I don't want to do my chores, but I know you want me to. So on a 3-up, I do them."
And then don't feel no pains, but
disgusting resilience. Sorry, I'm not taking the bins out.
Watching two 13-year-olds argue about wording in a rule book, you know, or coming to an agreement about wording in a rule book is really cool. You know?
You just walk past, you tap them up the head, and you're like, lawyer.
Help.
That's pretty good.
So I just run it lunchtimes, run it in an afternoon. We drive down to Calabar, sometimes carpool, just whatever, whoever wants to come. It's an open free for all, you know.
So are you coming to IF on Sunday?
What's the date? Sunday
the 18th.
Yeah, I think so. I've got a Thai cooking class to go to, but I'm
fucking what? No, I don't want to know. So I expect Mr. Heff to show up with a yellow school bus full of the future generation of Wargamers. That's what I want to see.
It's like the magic school bus, except into the 40k universe. Oh, that'd be terrible.
That is an awful idea.
That is an awful idea.
I'm sorry, but if anyone's watching this and they could animate that for me, please, I would love to see a 5-minute clip of the magic school bus.
Every character, like
with Slanish? No way.
With Slanish?
No.
We'll just keep it. I was going to say we'll just keep it corn, but that's probably no better either. So let's go Tau. They're pretty soft. They're pretty
good
soft.
Guys.
Yeah. They are actually, yeah, they are the good guys of the universe.
So, why is blood coming everywhere?
So what's been the most challenging part of bringing the hobby to the young ones then?
Honestly, the most challenging is finding time during lunch times, like just to make sure that it runs smoothly. You know, it's been really cool because there is so much interest, but obviously doing it on my own there at school, yeah, you get pulled in like 100 different directions, and you're just trying to help everybody at the same time. Whereas once you get to the store, you know, you've got a whole group of people who are sitting around doing their own thing, but are happy to like lend a hand or you know, give some tips. That and just the original outlay of the cost, I guess. But in the grand scheme of things, that's something that I personally have been willing to bear, because it's such a cool thing to get out there and to do with them. So yeah, time is a struggle, but outside of that, man, no, it's pretty easy to organize one lunch break a week and then one afternoon a week, and then just go, hey, if you're keen about the hobby and if you want to hang out and just do some stuff, doors open.
And that is awesome. I think finally, just in closing as well, if anybody does show up to Irresistible Force on Sunday and would like to help out, I'd like to take your miniatures, your dice, measuring tapes, anything that you've got that you'd like to give, that we can possibly put in towards this cause, which is teaching the new Wargamers, so the new generation, the second wave, I think somebody actually called it.
If you're going to start collecting stuff for me, man, then absolutely, just bring everything.
Yeah, look, definitely, I'm keen. Look, I will. I'll go first, and I will say that I will donate 5 sets of brushes. That if you've got students that want to paint,
you guys can have a melted hurricane.
Melted hurricane,
a whole melted hurricane.
Dude, I'm gonna make that like the best looking objective marker
it's gonna be so good. We're just gonna encase it in like 8 kilos of resin, and it's gonna be good to go. But yeah, look, if you guys have bring them along to the event, this is basically the show for tonight. It's been amazing talking to you. You are
thanks so much for having me on.
Truly a hero of the community. You're the sort you aren't the hero we asked for, but you're the hero we need.
I don't have a cape.
You don't have a cape.
Wear a cape.
We can get him a cape. We can get him like a. Oh, you can probably have a beanie. I'll just give you another beanie. All cool people wear beanies.
Actually, I wear a beanie to hide my premature baldness.
Premature baldness, yeah, that's what we. Yeah, me too. There's no hair under here.
It's Brindley. There's no hair anywhere yet. Grow up, buddy.
So there's no hair anywhere. I'm literally prepubescent. I'm actually only 13. I just had a voice break, and I actually just go to school.
When Brindley talks about the good old days of 40k, it's
literally yesterday.
Yeah, it's 7th ed.
Yeah, I'm actually Todd's my teacher. Anyway, for those of you who have been with us tonight, thank you so much. The chat has been very active. It's been very entertaining. Seeing everyone's comments. Hopefully we can do a full capture of them. As Ryan said, for those of you who had particular opinions about particular subjects, leave them in the comments after the video, or you can attach them to probably the picture associated with this show on our Facebook page. So the new generation of Wargamers is very excited.
Yeah, comment down below this video. Put it in the comment section of this video, not the chat.
For those of you who want to hear more about basically what Toddy does, send us a message. We'll try and send you as much as we can. For those of you,
or he'll be with us on Sunday because he's committed to that now. So swing by Irresistible Force on Sunday and come and say hello.
You who have children and want to get them into the hobby, by all means, there are simple ways to do it. It's a scary step, but sharing something you love, there's nothing wrong with that. And for those of you who are watching this for some reason you don't actually have, you are just trying to work out, do my kids do 40k? This isn't, it's cheaper than drugs. And they won't have money for drugs.
I don't know, mate. Not in Australia.
It's pretty, it's quite the Australian prices. I mean, like, ounce for ounce, it's getting pretty close to, like, heroin. But that's all we've got time for. Like and subscribe our videos. We're going to have more crazy stuff coming up. We've got some very exciting authors. We've got Graham McNeil next week. Right.
And I heard that he's going to have some pretty amazing stuff to give away as well.
Apparently, he's gonna have some giveaway. This is news to me.
Dude, if you need like your floors vacuumed that night, just outside, I'll just wait out there.
Just there, yeah. Well, we're gonna have a hard enough time listening to his Scottish accent and trying to get through that. Mind you, I listened to Ryan rant on in his terrible pigeon English part, New Zealander. So it shouldn't be too hard for me. I should be fine.
Bro, you don't even know what you're on about, Al. Smash you and your whole whānau.
All I heard was, I like sheep. Where are my free guild?
Hey, say what you want, but those sheep were having a blast.
Those sheep were having a blast. Oh, man. There's a joke, but we can't say it. No. Anyway, that's us. This is AUSHAMMER. Like and subscribe. Thanks for joining. Love you all.
Thanks for having me, man. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming, buddy. It was awesome.
All right, man.
Anytime.
See you guys later.
All right.
Hit that live button so I can fart.